good Thursday morning. Welcome back to the Chris Cano podcast. I can't believe it's already been a week. We had an awesome episode. We had our top 3 loan officers last week talking about how they were building their business, top performers, crushing business in the first 2 years. Yes, in a market with the rates doing what they're doing, with inventory, no excuses. I hope you guys got something from that. We're going to switch back to the other side today, the real estate side. Bum, bum, bum. And I am actually really privileged to have our guest on that we have today. He's in town doing a big presentation. He's going to open up sharing with us how he made his first $17 billion in real estate, and then we're just going to go right from there. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ricky Carruth. Good to have you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Good to be here.
Can you, how do you pronounce your last name?
Carruth.
Carruth, not Carruth. Saulo, you said it was Carruth. Our media guy is straight from Mexico, so whenever he
sees 2 R's.
Yeah, 2 R's, man. You're going to
there.
roll those R's, aren't we? You got to roll those R's. Ricky, you're in town doing a big presentation, man. Tell us about who you are, what your presentation is, what's going on.
Oh, no doubt, man. So I'm from Gulf Shores, Alabama. I've been there all my life. Grew up there.
Okay.
Got in real estate in 2002. And man, it's been a wild ride, right? When did you get into the mortgage business?
2011. I was still in the Navy when I got in.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I got in 2002, right before really like what we just went through in the last 18 months was real similar to what we went through in 2002 and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Right?
What month in 2002? Do you remember?
December.
Okay.
No, January.
January. Okay,
yeah,
so
January.
so 9/11 happens, and then you're like, I'm gonna get into real estate.
No, so
I'm gonna
crazy.
fight the bad guys through real estate.
Everybody remembers where they were when they heard about 9/11. So I was in the University of Alabama, walking through like this break area.
Okay.
Right? Everybody was looking at the TV.
Yeah.
And that was my last semester at Alabama. Actually, what happened was I failed a history class.
Okay.
So like in high school, I was always like this every day.
Okay.
Right.
Just praying.
All A's and B's.
Praying for A's and B's.
Well, I mean, it was just easy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so in college, you can't do that, right?
You can't fake it.
No, you cannot fake it.
Yeah.
It's real. Like anybody that graduated college, I have a lot of respect for because it was just something I couldn't do.
And were you distracted? Were you a distracted college student? Because Alabama's a big school, pretty girls,
Not really. I mean, I was partying, but it wasn't, I'm also a dedicated person, obviously, right?
Motivated.
So, hard worker and everything else. I just couldn't, it wasn't interesting to me, right?
Okay.
To the level of, let me spend 8 hours a day studying history. You know what I'm saying?
What was your major?
I was going for business, something like that. I wasn't even through my basics.
Got it.
So I went to 4 different colleges in 2 years. Right?
Okay.
And that 4th college was Shelton State, which is in Tuscaloosa. I said, well, I'm just going to go get my real estate license. The hell with this. So my mom wanted me to be a doctor. Dad wanted me to be a lawyer. And so I go to Shelton State and I'm like, let me do this real estate thing. So as I'm in the real estate class, the instructor's saying, okay, when you pass the class, you got a year to take your test. Once you pass your test, you got 90 days to find a broker. Right. You got to do all this stuff within a certain timeline. And I'm thinking, this is way too much commitment for me.
Yeah. Right.
I don't even know if I want to do this.
Right.
I was like, I just thought I could take a real estate class and like it was something like a motorcycle license. It's just on my driver's license.
You have it.
I can go sell houses whenever I want to, and make money or do whatever I want. I didn't know about continuing ed. So no, but the thing was I grew up roofing houses with my dad.
Okay.
So after I passed the class, which I barely did.
What's the passing score for real estate?
70.
70. So James, you were close. You weren't that far. 17 points. Okay.
Dude, I was traveling around hitting widespread shows everywhere.
What's a widespread show?
Widespread Panic. That's a band.
It's
kind of like Grateful Dead, like the next generation of Grateful Dead.
Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that band?
Oh, dude,
it's a Tejano or is it Tejano? Ricky, is it country?
No. It's like you're Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead, yeah.
Right, jam bands and stuff like that. It's the same thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? And they have this cult-like following, follow around. They're massive. Look them up.
Okay.
But anyway, I did that for a year. during the real estate class. I don't even know how I passed.
Yeah.
So I barely passed. And then I'm like, I don't even want to do this. I go back home and roof houses with Dad for like 3 days. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go give this real estate thing a try.
And this is in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I mean, roofing business in Alabama is probably hot. It's hot. It's tough.
Real hot, dude. You're
getting it in.
See, it's hot here,
yeah,
but there's way more humidity.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your work ethic is through the roof. Are you making good money doing roofing?
No.
Okay, is it Dad's business?
I'm
okay.
making like $300 a week. Like,
but Dad's banking.
He's
You're not getting, but because you're his son, you're not.
Well, I'm just laying shingles. Like I'm like the lowest guy on the crew. I'm just like throwing shingles on a roof, nailing shingles, doing metal.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Working okay, I got you.
Yeah. So, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do this forever. Right. And I see Dad and I'm like, dude, cause he was 45 years old around that time. Mm-hmm. He was the hardest worker on the roof. He was out roofing all the entire crew, 18-year-olds, 25-year-olds, guys that were all jacked. And it's like, he was out roofing all of them, like laying more shingles, laying more metal.
And is it his dad that does the lawnmower business? Mm-hmm. Because I've heard stories about your grandpa.
He just turned 90.
Yeah,
like he just turned 90. He's working 2 jobs.
Yeah,
like he's like on a car lot selling cars and cutting grass and goes out and plays pool, does pool tournaments all over the place. So he's 90 years old. He looks like he's honestly like my grandfather looks like he's 90. He looks like he's like honestly like 55 or something.
I'm binge watching your videos, and I'm hearing a lot of the people you're getting a hold of. Oh, I know your grandpa. He mows my yard, and I was thinking like, how long ago was this video? It's 3 months ago. Current, So your grandpa's still mowing at 90. Your dad's running a roofing business. You're hustling.
Well, see, the thing is, in 2005, so I got in 2002.
Okay.
Right, and then Dad was still roofing. He was still running that business. Well, by 2004, something like that, I was banking in real estate. Okay. And I was like, Dad, come on, get off the roof. It's time to lay the hammer down. Yeah. And so he got in real estate. I think his license was activated in 2004.
Who's your first brokerage? You go to where do
Exit.
you go? You go to Exit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exit Realty. See the the broker of Exit's wife was my homeroom teacher in middle school, right? And then I graduated with one of their daughters, and so I was real close with them.
Okay.
Right? Super nice people.
Yeah.
Had a great experience. Like it was a great place to like learn contracts and get around people selling stuff. And there was a guy there by the name of Scott Myrick, and he was really the one that took me under his wing. He was the #1 Exit agent in Alabama. He took me under his wing, showed me how to find phone numbers, what to say, letters to write, postcards, emails. Like he showed me what was up.
And right away you took an interest to it, because what we're going to get into, and for those of y'all who don't know, Ricky is just a beast. I mean, I consume so much of your cold calling content. It was making me a little uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know how somebody... And so we're going to get into that, and I want y'all to know, kind of his methods, how he does it, how he stays persistent through it. But when you were getting in and you were going under that guy's wing, did you already have this, like a sales in you, or was this just uncomfortable as could be?
It was more of a work ethic, right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, when I'm on a roof, as many shingles, I get paid by how many shingles I lay. Okay. Right. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be the master of laying the most shingles, being the most efficient. How do I lay them the quickest? How do I get the most done? So when I flipped to real estate, I had to say, okay, what in real estate equates to laying shingles and roofing? Yeah. Right. What can I do where you just give me this one thing that I have to do that's going to make everything else like what in real estate do I get paid every time I do it? Right?
And then I need to know what houses I have in my pipeline, how many shingles I have in my queue. Give me unlimited resources and let my work ethic determine my destiny.
Exactly. Okay. Like you can't lay all the shingles in a day. Right. You can't lay all the shingles in your lifetime. There's always another job. Same thing here. You can't call every property owner. Yeah. Right. So that was the thing I had to figure out, and it took me a second to kind of gauge that in. As soon as I got my license, I said, Dad, I'm out of here. Yeah. I'll see you later. Went to the office, worked for 30 days, sold absolutely nothing. Yeah. Right. Came back and said, Dad, I got to come back for a little while. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So month 2, I'm roofing and selling at, trying to do it on the side. Well, It took me 8 months to get to my first deal, right?
Okay.
So it's like I'm roofing, I go to college, I'm roofing, I get in real estate, I'm roofing.
Right.
Right. And later on, when the market crashes, I lose everything.
What year was that?
So in 2005, I sold my last house.
Okay.
That was when everything started to come down.
Right.
And between 05 and 2008, I sold nothing.
Okay.
2008, May of 2008, February 2005, I sold my last condo.
Okay.
And May of 2008, I sold my first condo coming back.
So you sell your first condo. You do what any agent does, right? You buy a Rolex, and you say, "Hey, this is it. Time to get the Audi. I want to know, and kind of fast forward, and then I want to go back to your timeline. You're here in San Antonio doing Zero to Diamond, and you all of a sudden you have this massive following. You have about 90,000 followers. I don't know how you get away with it. You got people tuning in, watching you cold call. And it's kind of like, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to skim through, see what his successful calls were. But I'm now just for 17 minutes listening to you leave voice messages. My friend's like, dude, what are you listening to? I'm like, Rick, he's just calling people. And I'm getting the anxiety. Like, are they going to answer? Is he, what's going to be the close, And
that's the fun part.
But so many people are interested in you cold calling. Tell me, how did that start? How did you say, you know what, I'm going to close this gap in real estate of making cold calling cool again?
Man, listen, it's kind of, I'll hold my breath. I'll take a deep breath and tell you. So when I came back in 2008, right?
Yeah.
Everything I learned through the crash,
yeah,
I applied. So this was the next chapter.
Okay.
Whereas like the first chapter was, how do I close deals?
Right.
Right. And that's why I lost everything. Right. It's because I was so focused on this one thing, whereas I kind of was blinded by that, and I couldn't really see the fact that I needed to just make friends with these people.
Okay.
Right. Lifelong relationships with these people. Right. That's where the money's at.
Right.
Because these relationships turn into 10 to 20 deals to you over the life of your career. Right. Whereas, and it really wasn't my fault. I didn't understand, right? This was the market that I was born into. I was born into the market where you could make 10 calls. And this is one thing about calls back then. I could make 10 calls and get somebody who wanted to make 100, 200, 300,000, because that's how much things were going up.
Yeah.
Somebody who wanted to sell, take that money. And then they didn't want to buy again into that market.
Right.
They didn't want to do anything. Right. And so these were Gulf front condos I was selling. People from Atlanta and Nashville and Louisiana.
Is that Seabreeze? Or what was the name of that? Do you remember those? I mean, you did probably all of them.
I've sold a condo in every single building down the beach.
Are you serious?
Right, in my area, right? There's not very many condos I haven't sold something in.
Yeah.
I did 1,000 deals.
Yeah.
And
I heard some of the people when they were answering your calls, they were like, "Oh yeah, no, I know you. You're in my mailbox. I get your stuff. You email me. You were all over it."
You gotta understand, like, it's not San Antonio.
Yeah.
This is a 25,000 population area between two small beach towns.
Yeah.
Right. But then we have 7 million visitors every year come to the beach. So we have all that second home vacation properties on the beach.
Sure.
And
so it's pretty easy to share your brand in a community
like when
that.
you've been down there, like I grew up there, number one, so like everybody knew me anyway. My mom owned a hair salon.
Okay.
Right. Dad had the roofing business.
Yeah.
So like everybody knew us, growing up. And back then it was even way small town,
Right.
Now it's grown.
Right.
But as it's grown, so has the reputation, right? Then I get into real estate and then start blowing it up.
Yeah.
Right. Then social media comes along and people actually see the success.
Yeah.
And so then the reputation and the brand just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
When you start saying blowing it up, what was kind of like your measurement early on of success? Like, did you have a benchmark you wanted to hit financially, or?
Man, I mean, I guess like always wanted to make $1 million.
Okay.
Right? Nobody in my family ever made $1 million.
Right.
Right. So we grew up real middle class, but real comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
We never had like really hard times that I knew of. Right.
Right.
But real middle class, and nobody ever really made like. One reason why I lost everything is because no one in my family ever made enough money to really know what to do with money.
Okay.
Right. And the golden rule was always buy real estate.
Right.
So I just go buy real estate. Right. But I didn't understand there was a right way and a wrong way to buy real estate.
Right.
Right. And so I over leveraged on the wrong strategies. Mm-hmm. Right. And that was one thing that took me down, outside of the fact that I wasn't focused on actually building a business.
Right.
Because like I said, people would come in, I would call 10 people, somebody would take me up on it, sell their property, I would sell it in a day, I would make 20, 30,000, and then I'd never hear from them again.
So tell me real quick, because I want to pull my audience in a little bit. For those of y'all watching, let me know as we're going through this show what your prospecting looks like. You know, whether you're cold caller, door knocker, you know, or you're just, you know, straight stealing stuff from people. Wherever you're at in life, let me know in the comment section. But I wanna ask you, you know, because you talk a lot about RedX. Is that still a software you use? Mm-hmm. Can you tell our audience what RedX is? You know, kind of what your process is when you say you're calling 10 people. You know what that looks like.
Yeah, no, let's go back. Let's take it back just a second. Mm-hmm. One thing you said was all of a sudden I got 90,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
It's been like 6 years, right? And what happened?
That's fast still.
And what happened is that in 2017, the story I was getting to was when I came back and everything that I learned, I built my business the right way on people, right?
Okay.
And accumulating those relationships and having something on the back end where nobody ever forgets who I am. Whereas when I talk to someone and they have those warm and fuzzies that I'm this different, genuine person, right? I don't want them to ever let that feeling go.
That's good,
I want them to always, you know.
I picked up on that.
So I've got to have something in place. So I figured out what that was, and I put those systems in place, and I started building it the right way. I'm like, you know, screw deals. Let me make friends with people in the market, right? And then just help them for the rest of their life. So from that method, right, from 2008 to 2014, I really busted down. And by that time, I hit 100 deals by 2014.
Golly.
So it was six years.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to do 100 deals, but it's like, you want to do them this year or next year, and you just started, or the year after. Right. And it's like, I went through all this hell, right? Learning all this stuff, losing everything, bankrupt, sleeping in my car, sleeping on friends' couches, eating out of people's refrigerators, working on an oil rig. I went and worked on an oil rig for a year.
Golly.
And then came back, right? And after learning all that, it still took me 6 years of 15 hours a day because I didn't have RedX.
Yeah.
Right. So by 2014, I'm doing 100 deals. #1 Remax agent in Alabama.
Let's go.
I sold 100 deals every year since.
Wow.
You know, all up to last year.
Yeah.
This year I built a team and kind of stepped a little bit out of production. So I'm focusing on other things like the events, the speaking, the coaching, the writing, the building other businesses. But in 2017, right? So 3 years of selling 100 properties a year, right? That was the year I was like, because when I hit 100 deals, I was like, all right, is this real?
Yeah.
Right. I made it before and lost it. Right. The market took it from me.
Right.
Right. I took it from myself. Right. Is this real? So after the next year, I said, okay, maybe. The third year, I said, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to share this with the rest of the world. Right. So 2017, I said, I'm going to write a book called Zero to Diamond.
Zero to Diamond. That was your first one?
That was the first one.
Yeah.
So as I give it to the editor, he edits it. I said, damn, I forgot about all this other stuff I wanted to put in the book.
Yeah.
I literally wrote the second book
What's
while
that
he
one
was
called?
The second one, List to Last.
List to Last. I picked
How
up
to survive every market, every real estate crash. And I wrote the second one while he was editing the first one. As he gave me the first one edited, I gave him the second one to edit. Right. And that's why there was 2 books right then. Because like we were saying before, I had to just dump all this information. And then the books took off. And then the next thing I know, I'm coaching and I'm doing, you know, training sessions, and I'm building Facebook
because
groups.
At this point you have a ton of experience, right? So you're you know, I know we're fast forwarding through a very long time frame of you being in the business, but you've picked up all this experience along the way. You have a ridiculous work ethic. You start figuring out your models. And so you said in 2017, you know, that's when you wrote the books, and you decided, I'm gonna start just sharing this. You already got the relationship with your community. You're already a trusted resource in the community as a real estate agent. And I like that you put that, because I think a lot of people, especially since COVID, are trying to cheat their way to 100 deals a year. They're very surface level relationships. You know, I hear a lot of clients when they call us, the lender, saying, hey, I'm looking for this paperwork. I can't get a hold of my agent. We're probably out of the market, you know, just kind of like these vapors that have come in. But you come in, you lay a good foundation, you start writing a book, you start this curriculum, you're doing these presentations. And so it almost seems like your focus is turned outward in regards to, let me just start educating.
Take it a step further.
Okay.
Right? So when I first started coaching, right, I started out charging.
How much?
I tried all kinds of different models. It was 20 a month. It was $100 a month. It was $1,000 one time. It was $1,000, and then so much. Is
that a different business in itself? Mm-hmm. You have an LLC. You got somebody now managing that.
Well, I manage it,
and you're managing it. So now you got kind of two businesses going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started out charging, right?
Yeah.
So after about 6 months of that, I realized this is the wrong thing, because there was a lot of problems with it. Okay. So number one, the biggest problem was that when I went out there and charged someone for coaching, right, where I have this exclusive content just for them, right, for the people that paid, right now I'm in a position where when I go speak or I'm online or I post something, I can't say what's in the paywall area, right, or the people inside the paywall say, wait a minute, I paid for this information, right. Why
am I paying for this?
So it started to make me feel weird about it. You know what I'm saying? And so I started going through my thought process with this. It took me several months to wrap my head around this, right? And then I realized, okay, so I would do webinars and I would have 300 agents register. Okay. 100 would show up and like 1 or 2 would sign up for the coaching. Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. So 300 agents want help. Right. Okay. 100 really want some help. They showed up. Yeah. Right. And only 1 or 2 are actually taking advantage where they can see what I'm doing on the back end. Yeah. I want to help all 300. Right. And so there's a lot more to it. I'm skipping over a lot of my thought process, but at the end of the day, I became the world's first completely free real estate coach. Wow. Right. And so the mission is to reduce the failure rate in the real estate industry, one agent at a time.
Some may say that, by putting that price up front, you're filtering out the ones who are serious versus the ones who aren't.
There's a lot of schools of thought, you know what I mean? And I've heard them all, right? I've had a lot of people challenge me and this, that, or the other. I just had a big group like from, the Inman, Tom Ferry, broke agent side. We just did a big debate on
You were on the Inman. You won an award, top 22 influencers on Instagram.
Right.
That was pretty awesome, man.
And YouTube, yeah.
That's huge. And YouTube?
It is pretty huge, yeah.
I gotta follow you on Instagram. I'm on your YouTube. I gotta follow you on Instagram. You got a YouTube follower on me, but I gotta follow you on Instagram. Is that you do a lot of reels and stuff on Instagram?
I do everything: reels, videos, pictures, stories.
Is that in your nature naturally? Like, because reels seem kind of like it's the caricatures, the emojis, and
I don't do those.
You don't do those.
No,
you're straight. You keep them pretty.
It's just YouTube on reels.
I saw you wearing a hat backwards in one of your reels. It's a very relaxed version of you.
Yeah, dude, I wear a hat all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like where were we? Like the free coaching.
Ricky wants to go. I'm trying to derail him. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah. So you're coaching about 300. You're the first free coach in the real estate market.
Okay, no, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, they pay, so they have some skin in the game, and it's weeding out the whatevers. Yeah. Right. But what about the people that can't afford the coaching, right, or can't afford to pay it? They need this information. What about and like another sector of this is a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, there's some paid coaches, right, who their model is they high pressure the agents into the coaching.
Sure. What's the hook? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they high pressure the agents into the coaching. And then once they get them in there, then they teach them high pressure sales to get their clients, right? They teach them the same strategies they use to hook them on the coaching to run their business. Yeah. And it's the wrong way to do it. Right. See, I'm the exact opposite of all the mainstream coaching and training and stuff like that. They're trying to high pressure you into saying you need this.
Paying for leads.
I'm like, you don't need that.
Okay.
No, just the coaching.
Oh, the coaching.
Just the coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, just pay me to tell you how to build your business.
Sure.
Right. And I like.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
Like I'm all about paying people and having mentorship and all that stuff. But a lot of this stuff is garbage. Right. And they're high pressuring new agents in saying, hey, you need this, and telling them to put on a credit card. And then it doesn't work out, and they've paid thousands of dollars. Now they're in debt, and they haven't even sold a house, right? And or they'll come after them on their credit and stuff like that.
So you saw this as a problem, and you decided to bring a solution to it, right?
Exactly.
So you said, you know what? I'm just removing the price on this. I'm going to open it up to everybody. What did that do to your audience?
Blew it up.
Blew it up,
right? Because it's like, this guy's selling 100 properties a year, telling us everything that he's doing for nothing.
And some may say, why are you giving away your secret sauce?
Because it's unlimited. Business is unlimited. See, I had friends and family get mad like super mad, right? Like some of my really close friends and family was like, couldn't wrap their head around it. And I said, listen, you don't understand. Like, business is unlimited for every agent, right? There's an unlimited amount of clients and business and transactions for every agent for the rest of their life. You can't do it all. You can work 24/7, 365 and never even scratch the surface.
Right.
And so, now, like, after maybe a year, it didn't take long. After about a year, now those people are like, wow, look at what you did. But the thing is I haven't lost a single client. And I haven't lost a single deal. I've gotten nothing but respect from agents in my local market and around the country, around the world. So
because you're a resource, and I admire that. A lot of people, even us, they'll ask us, why are you guys, giving it all away? And what we realize is a lot of people won't do it anyways. It
doesn't matter if they do it. See, I hear that a lot too. Like, only 1%. It doesn't matter if 100% of the people do it.
There's unlimited business.
It's unlimited.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Right.
A lot of people think, I can handle more pending deals.
Sure.
Sure, you could if I just handed you people that are just making offers, but that's not how this business works.
Okay.
People think it's contract to close.
Yeah.
No, it's relationship created to close. And the work that goes into creating that relationship, whereas you have to filter through the population to find those people that love you. Yeah. People don't want to put that upfront work in to filter through to find the 30% of people who love them enough to do business.
That upfront work, I want to get into that. I do. We're already about 40 minutes into this thing. Are we? Where are we at? 30 minutes? 30. Okay. Because that's going to be something that I'm hoping, and I'm attending Zero to Diamond tomorrow, but I'm hoping that we get into this a little bit because a lot of my agents out there, we've had kind of danced around the conversation of cold calling, door knocking, proven methods. Have you ever heard of the customer value journey? It's kind of like a digital marketing strategy where they talk about these 8 steps. The first one is you have to get a consumer's attention, and then you have to engage with them. You got to get them to subscribe to you. Then you convert them. Converting isn't where the money's at, because by the time you convert a consumer, you're just making the money back that you've put into getting them to that fourth step.
What do you think the definition of converting is?
You can, depending on the engine that you're talking about, right? When in an engine, we'll always answer the question, how does business happen here. So converting for me, like I'm doing a seminar tonight, The Truth About the VA Home Loan Benefit. Converting in that engine may be getting the veteran to show up to my presentation. Okay. I've converted them. I got their attention with a flyer. I engaged with them when they, I got them to subscribe to me by sending me their email address, their phone number, whatever a subscription looks like to me. And then when they show up, they convert. But step 5 would then be to excite them. Step 6 is to ascend them. Step 7 is to create an advocate out of them. And then step 8 is they're a promoter of yours, a super fan, if you will. And, so many real estate agents that I talk to put so much energy and emphasis on block 1, which is just attention. You're posting all this stuff without any sort of game plan or strategy to actually engage, subscribe, convert, excite, ascend, advocate. And most people would say that your business starts backwards from taking a look at your super fans and having them create attention on your behalf and everything else, So it seems like if you're creating a lot of this Kindle, you talk to hundreds of people, I'm assuming, on a daily basis, especially whenever you're cold calling. How do you get them to that next level of actually now engagement, subscribe? What's the follow-up look like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything that I do, bro, is stuff that I created from trial and error, right? I made 100,000 calls, hand dialing, right, over a 15-year period. Right?
When you say hand dialing, that's
it means taking your finger and pushing the buttons of the phone number.
Well,
and then talking to them, right? See, this is what people don't understand. See, with Red X, right, you click a button, you pick a neighborhood, you got all the property owners' phone numbers like that. Yeah. Right. Expires just come in. You don't have to do anything.
What are expires?
Expired listings.
Okay.
Right. Listings that expired off the market. Okay. Right. Whatever. It's all automated now. Where the data is automated. You don't have to go look for it. It's right there. Right. Just click of a mouse. See, I had to take each individual person and I had their tax records. So I had to copy their address and put it in Spokio or Bigfoot.com or whitepages.com and try to search through the phone number. Wow. Right. If that didn't work, I had to put the zip code in there, see if it worked like that. Then their last name. Then I had to put their first name and last name. I had to try different combinations sometimes.
Get that number.
And it took like So I would spend all night looking up 100 numbers. So when I got off work, I would look up numbers all night till like 10 or 11 o'clock, right?
Just like in a surrounding area, like whatever zip code you're targeting?
Whatever subdivision or condo complex or whatever I wanted to call the next day.
Yeah.
So I would look them all up at night, and then next morning at 9 o'clock, I would start dialing. And it would take me till about 3 o'clock to call the 100 numbers, right, by hand. And then after that, I would do some handwritten letters and get ready to look up my batch.
Because you already had all the addresses and everything from that research. So you're not just siphoning the numbers, you're taking a lot of them, because you're deploying handwritten cards.
Then there wasn't a whole lot of data. It was like, you know, their address, their name, what property they own, when they paid, when they bought it, how much they paid. There wasn't like a ton of data like there is now.
Yeah.
Like now on RedX, dude, you got, you know, the household income, you got like, you know, like crazy data. You know, a lot of data, but back then I spent all that time doing that and then waking up and hand dialing. Dude, a lot of people are like, oh, I hand dialed 100 numbers in a couple hours. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You did not.
Yeah.
Bro, I've done it.
Yeah.
Many times. You're not going to hand dial 100 numbers in 2 hours. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're lying.
You're lying.
Right? I'll look at you right in your face and tell you you're lying because you didn't do it.
You got through 23 in about an hour on a YouTube video I watched, and you were moving. I mean,
well, with the dialer, you know, you just blow through them. It's an auto dialer.
Yeah, and
right?
that's what my point. That's with an auto dialer. So I'd imagine
But let's take a step back, right?
Okay.
I want to walk through this cold calling thing with you, right? And I want to talk about the strategy, like how do you go through the stages you just talked about of converting and nurturing and all this stuff, because it's a very deep strategic process, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a, hey, how are you doing? And this, that, and the other. There's a method behind the entire thing. But let's take one step back before I get there. And I just want to ask you, outside of cold calling, just give me some, you know, like which the agents you're talking to, like what's their lead gen of choice?
Boomtown. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Boomtown.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh man, right? I just lost like 4 people.
How much is that per lead?
I don't know. I know what we get billed for, but I don't know, you know, for our half, whenever we go in, like that's always a question, like, you know, can we split Boomtown leads?
I mean, just throw a number out there. You know, like how much do you think it is per lead?
I would say, man, I don't know.
100?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
I was going to say 200, but 100, yeah.
Let's just say it's 100, right?
Okay.
Or 150. Let's say it's 100. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what they sold you, bro?
What's that?
A random person in your market's contact information for $100.
Yeah.
$100 for a random person in your market's contact information. Now,
wow.
Right. And so what I do, right, is I say, and here's the thing, as soon as you get that Boomtown lead, what do you have to do? What's the first thing you have to do?
Call.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to pay $100 for one lead to call for a random person, I don't even get to pick who it is.
Right.
Right. Over here in my world, I'm paying 2 cents for the exact person I want to talk to that owns the exact property I want to sell. Right. For 2 cents.
Yeah.
Not $100, but
right.
2 cents. Now I'm going to have a 10% pickup rate. So that's 20 cents
right.
for a pickup. Right.
Okay.
1 out of 2 of those conversations is going to be a great conversation.
Okay.
Now I'm at 40 cents.
Okay.
40 cents for a great conversation with the exact person I want to do business with. 40 cents for one great conversation,
right,
versus $100 for a random person who may not even answer the phone.
Right.
Right. And so this 40 cents is not for somebody that might, this is for the great conversation. You've already filtered through the 20 numbers or whatever to get to that great conversation, and you've paid 40 cents. And all you've done is sit there and just let the dialer just call through people and just move your mouth for a second to talk to a few people.
How many people do you think that you just offended right now? Do you offend agents when you say that? Is that offensive to say?
I don't think. I think that they sit back and they say, "Wow,
yeah,
he's right.
He's okay."
Right?
Because I feel like, you know, Boomtown is such a hot lead gen in real estate. Like I've you know, so
it's crazy to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy to me, and that's why I'm trying to spread as much stuff as I can, because, you know, like I have a team. Right. We got 5 agents. We have 2 guys that call 6 hours a day. They're ISAs. We run the entire team on $400 a month.
Wow.
Because we have GeoLeads Plus, which gives us 7,500 property owners of our choice on our market.
Yeah.
We have expires where we go back 10 years worth. So we have like tens of thousands of expires there they can call.
Yeah.
We have projects where they call for this subdivision, that subdivision, depending on what listings or pendings or closed or what buyers we have. Right. There's always a project for the ISAs, but they can't call all the leads.
Yeah.
For $400. We're getting listings every day. right? And here I'll take it a step further. Let's say, oh, well, the Boomtown leads they're hot leads. They're ready to roll.
Yeah.
They're warm leads.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right. You call them and they say, I'm not ready for 8 months, or who are you, or what's going on, right?
Sure.
Some of them.
Yeah.
But here's the cool thing, right? What percentage of property owners do you think have went on Zillow or Realtor.com or any of these syndicated websites over the last 6 to 8 months?
I'm going to say 75%.
Okay. So Zillow, right? Boomtown, all these other lead generation companies, they're selling you a random person in your market's contact information for, say, $100, really a lot more, right? But let's just say it's $100. Okay, and then you call them and say, hey, I saw you're on Zillow looking at some stuff, want to follow up and see if there's something I can do to help you there.
Right.
Why couldn't you just get a property owner for 2 cents and say, hey, I saw you were looking online at some properties, just following up to see if there's anything I can do to help you there? Isn't there a 75% chance that they have looked on Zillow in the last 6 to 8 months and looked at properties?
You're blowing my mind right now.
I can keep going.
Yeah.
Like, it gets deeper and deeper, bro. It's crazy.
So hey, was my 75% right? Is that about where you calculated it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know?
I say it's in the 70, 80, 90. Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
Right? But see, what you have to understand is what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
See, you're looking at a real one, because I've eliminated paid coaching from Agents' Lives. I'm eliminating paid leads from Agents' Lives, and it's all making sense. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so,
James.
Listen, last year, 200 million leads were sold. 200 million leads were sold to you. 200 million. There were 6 million transactions last year. Okay? 200 million leads were sold against 6 million transactions.
That's 3%.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're selling them for full price, not 3% discount.
Yeah.
Okay?
Unreal.
So why are we buying leads? 200 million. They're just selling you random people in your market's contact information.
Hey, I need to cancel our Boomtown sponsor tomorrow that we had coming in.
I'm not going to be talking about Boomtown on stage, so don't worry.
They got me introducing you, so I'll make sure that
Don't worry. Hey,
guys, my name is Chris Cano. I'm here to talk about why buying leads is important in your market. And Ricky comes in just like, all right, my step one.
Is Boomtown really going to be there?
No.
Okay.
Course.
I was like,
no, man.
I gotta go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I know, man. So somebody, because I watched a couple of your things, and I know you come right. You do a gut punch, like, don't pay for leads. So I told James, I'm gonna go introduce him, saying, hey, my name is Chris Cano. I'm here to talk about why buying leads is important.
I think it's okay to buy leads, right? But buy them for 2 cents.
Buy 2 cents. Yeah, I don't buy leads. We try to stay away from a market that's already been created. Our goal at Align Mortgage is to create a market, and so for us, because 85% of our military don't utilize their VA home loan benefit, I get really curious why not. And so, I let the others play in the 15% who know they want to buy. I mean, we throw some stuff in there, but the majority of the success we've seen is a buyer who didn't know they wanted a home,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's fun.
Exactly. People that weren't warm, right?
Right.
They
exactly.
Didn't know they wanted a home.
Yeah.
Right. But everybody wants to pay $100 for warm leads.
Nah. Yeah.
But here you are selling cold leads, a house that didn't even know they wanted a house.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Every human, a lead equals human being in your market.
Yeah.
They're going to do something at some point.
Yeah.
Make friends with them.
Right.
Why are we spending so much money on warm leads that don't do anything? Warm leads are cold.
Well, because, I mean, anybody who's y'all seen the movie The Big Short? You remember the part where they discovered that, it was triple B bond loans or something. They were selling them as double A.
Yeah,
and he was like, the rating agencies there's corruption. You're calling these double A, but they're triple B at best, low FICO, 5-1R, And so that's how I kind of, envisioned the Boomtown stuff. But for me, I think what it comes down to is that word warm. I think that word warm takes people who might naturally maybe be a little bit on the lazier side and think, man, with that word warm, instead of having to call 100, I only have to call 50 and have the same success rate versus just putting in the work, getting through the 100.
Listen, everything works.
Yeah.
Right. Go spend $1 million on Zillow and get 1,000 people, right? And go build your business. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. My thing is communication, which brings me back to how do we convert? How do we nurture? How do we make them super fans? How do we go through the process, right?
Sure. Yep.
So you got to understand every little piece of my script and the way that I try to communicate. See, Zero to Diamond is not a here's how you sell real estate program, right?
Yeah.
Here, Zero to Diamond is, here's how I built my real estate business. If you want to take pieces of this and go build yours, great. If you want to do it exactly the same, great. If you don't like any of it, that's great. But the bigger part of it is, how do we communicate with people?
What's diamond in real estate? Just so people know. When you say zero to diamond, what are you referencing?
Dude, I made it up. It's diamond was diamond was an award, was a Remax award for $1 million a year.
I think one of the bigger agencies here in San Antonio, they also have a diamond award, a platinum award. So I didn't know if it was like a specific number. If you're an agent that does 100 transactions a year, you're in the diamond.
I mean, and with Remax, it was $1 million a year.
Okay,
it was a diamond award. And that's where I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but
yeah,
like when I'm talking to a property owner. No, man, but Zero to Diamond is a communication. Like, how do we communicate? Listen, there's a lot of people who go in Zero to Diamond and they do strictly video on Facebook.
Yeah.
But they took the philosophies of Zero to Diamond and they're crushing it.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you a list of people who went out there and used not the cold calling method, but just used their own method, but integrated the Zero to Diamond philosophies and communication skills and stuff like that. The biggest things that I learned during the crash was that closings happen every day for the rest of your life, no matter what the market does, right? Which means business is unlimited, and competition doesn't exist. Nobody's stopping you from going out and creating as many relationships as you want, right? It doesn't matter if there's 4 agent to every person out there. It doesn't matter. Nobody's stopping you from talking to that person and saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to be friends forever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I'm calling someone, right, and I'm not using my Zillow news script where I'm like, hey, I saw you were looking online at some properties, following up to see what I can do to help, because that works. I'm like teaching that now. Like, just if you, like, here's what I tell people. Like, if the people that are lazy and just want that warm lead thing, I said, dude, go on RedX and get 1,000 leads for 2 cents a piece and just pretend like they're Zillow leads. If that's what you need to tell,
what you need to do.
If that's what you need to tell yourself, right?
My friend used to buy, Costco vodka, and he would put it in a Grey Goose bottle. When for the girls, and I was like, hey, dude, I think
for the girls,
because he wanted to appear that he
that's
had
another level.
Yeah,
that's a whole another level.
He wanted to appear he had money, and so he just kept that empty Grey Goose bottle and he'd fill it up with Costco. So that's, anyways, you made me think of that.
Yeah, my buddy used to pour shots and then make sure that the 2 we had with water.
Oh, okay, all right.
But like when I'm talking to a property owner, right, I'm calling up and I'm it's coming from everything through the process. When you're talking to a customer, needs to come from a real genuine place of curiosity. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when I'm calling them, I'll say, hey, is this Mr. Johnson? Hey, Mr. Johnson, it's Ricky Carruth, a local real estate agent here in Gulf Shores. How you doing today? Yeah. And it's like, how are you doing today? I want to know. And then you always, because I could have done your intro for you. I got your script kind of down watching so much of it, but yeah, I'm doing fine. But see, and understand the depth of it, right? Yeah. The transition points within it, right? This is developed over a decade and a half of 100,000 calls. When I see, as soon as they say whatever, right, and I can tell by their tone. You already know. I know how the whole call is going to go. I done made so many calls. I know how the entire thing is going to go from top to bottom.
Let me real quick, because I want to dissect this just a little bit. It was always like uncomfortable for me to hear you in those moments, because it bothered me that the person answering the phone wouldn't say, I'm doing fine, how are you? And
sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do. Right. But when I'm watching,
it doesn't matter what they say.
It doesn't. Yeah.
I'm fishing. I'm throwing something out there to see how they respond. Right. And then I don't care how they respond. I just want to see how they respond. Then based on how they respond, I got them from there. It's over. Yeah. I know how this is going to go.
You had a guy. You cold called the guy and you were talking to him a little bit, and he was kind of like, you said something along the lines of, we sold 4 or 5 properties in your area. There's nothing available. I just wanted to see kind of if you knew where you were at. And he was like, how'd you get my number? He said something along, and then he hung up, and it was so funny. You go, I'm going to call that guy whenever I'm done with this. I don't like how that call went. And you just kept moving, right? Like you didn't really even flinch. You just kind of took a note. Like I'm gonna go back to that guy.
When it got to a point where, and have you seen some of the cold call sessions where I'm coaching agents through the calls
when they're on each side of the screen?
Well, that's cold call wars. Okay, but there's a lot of them where it's just one agent, and like I'm actually coaching them through the calls and stuff. Oh God, so like there's this involuntary laugh that happens where as soon as like we'll be there, and then as soon as somebody picks up the phone, I just start laughing. Yeah. It's involuntary. Like I love it so much. You know what I mean? I'm like, and I hear how they call, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, listen to this. Yeah. And I got to the point where in my own calls, long before I did YouTube and stuff, in my own calls, when people started getting mean or started cussing me out, I would just start laughing at them. Yeah. On the phone, I would just start laughing at them, because for me, it's like this person is prejudging me and doesn't even know who I am or what I'm doing. They don't understand that I'm really just here for them. I have zero interest in trying to get them to buy or sell anything. That's the thing. I'm not trying to get anyone to do anything. Sure. I'm trying to help them do whatever it is they want to do.
But it's the 7 people that called that house before you that ruined it for you.
No, I've had agents say, "You're the same." I'm like, "Well, you hadn't talked to me yet. Like, let's talk for a second, because I think I have a different angle
or
here."
Or the guy selling insurance, or the guy scamming. You know, I mean, right now, I mean, people
doesn't matter. It's tone. See, here's the thing, though, bro. When they answer the phone, okay, they saw it was an unknown number that they wasn't familiar with. Yeah. Right?
Is that how Red X works? Is it unknown
No. I didn't mean unknown. It has my name and stuff. Okay. But like, they don't know me, is what I'm saying. Like, they're answering a call from somebody they don't know. Sure. Okay. So when they answer the phone, that's them. They're not answering the phone hoping this is a horrible outcome. They're answering the phone hoping this is a positive outcome, that this is somebody hoping to bring value to their life or have something really cool to share or something, right?
I agree with that.
So it just the fact that they answered the phone,
it's consent.
It puts you in a position where now it's on you. Sure. And you either blow it or you don't, or you don't blow it. Right. You either capitalize or you don't. Yeah. And that's based on your tone, the words, the speed of the voice, the whole 9 yards, reading them correctly, listening to them. Yeah. It's the whole 9 yards. So when they answer, that's them giving you an opportunity. So, it doesn't matter that there was an insurance person and another agent and all this calling. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they still answer the phone. Yeah. If they didn't want to answer the phone, or if they felt like being mean, they would just not answer it. If they were busy, they just wouldn't answer. But the fact that they answered the phone says, hey, let's play ball, right? Okay, you want to answer the phone? Cool. Yeah. Listen, I'm a good person. I want to help you, right? Talk to me. Tell me what's going on in your life.
You're dominating this phone call right now.
I have to.
I know you are.
I have to, man.
Hey, Saulo, are you watching? You know what he's doing to me right now? Saulo, so early on in doing my podcast, if you don't want the host to interrupt you, you touch their shoulder, and it sets your blinker saying, hey, dude, I'm still in this lane. And so I'm kind of, and I'm not even mad, because I'm like, you are very friendly interrupting me.
I had to get that out, though.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like
I know.
It's real.
I love it, dude. I love it. But the fact of the matter is I didn't want to just have somebody coming on the show. I mean, but Ricky, you've done a lot of great stuff. You built a big thing, and I actually went to go watch your content, and I have the attention of a goldfish, just like most people in this industry. They're watching reels, TikToks. But I'm literally watching you go and do the work that a lot of people aren't wanting to do. And I saw you make a video the other day where you were saying, something about it's you guys all have the same opportunity, but you're just uncomfortable with the work, and that's the truth, because I feel like cold calling is, you don't hear a lot about cold calling anymore. People are trying to automate everything.
It's what everyone's doing, though. Right. Yeah. Every single person. Right. So here's my next point. Okay. Right? Where I was coming back to asking you what the favorite lead gen source is for your agents. And we kind of got off on the Boomtown lead thing. But where I was going with that is that the common denominator of all closings. Okay. What is the common denominator of all closings?
Hopefully a happy homeowner.
Well, yeah, hopefully, but that's not always the case. So that's not a common denominator of all closings. Okay. Because some people are unhappy, right? Okay. What's the common denominator of all closings? What's the action on the front end that's the common denominator, where it's the gatekeeper of the closing?
Tell me.
A conversation.
Got
real conversation. Okay. So regardless of where you get your leads from, right? Open houses, online, networking, social media, it all comes those all funnel back to this same activity. You get a Zillow lead, you got to call them. Open house, you make a list, you call them the next day. Everything is designed to create a list of people to sit down and call, to follow up with, to call, whatever. Yeah. Every single thing, right? So for me, it's like, I feel like I've hacked the system here, because instead of paying all this money for this list, or doing all this work to do an open house for this list, or doing social media, paying a lot of ad money for this list, I just get the list and just start calling.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going to do anyway. Everything comes back to the same thing. And before I get to that conversation, there's not going to be any aftermath of the possibility of a closing. Well, let me skip all this.
Yeah.
Let me go around all that time, money, and energy and go straight to the source.
So if I'm a real estate agent and I hear that and I get the first 10 closings under my belt, how much of my then position shifts from all that time and energy of calling through these lists to calling through and having a relationship with now those 10 people that I've closed so that they go create lists for me?
Very little. Because 10 people takes you, 10 minutes to call.
Okay.
Right. That you got an 8-hour day, you got a 40-hour week, that takes you 10 minutes. Right. So what we've found is that 1% of your database is going to close a deal with you every year. Right. So if you build your database up to say 5,000 people, right, and you have a system in place where they never forget who you are, you're going to have 50 closings a year. Right. If you have a database of 10,000 people, you're going to have and this is if you're not prospecting anymore. See, this is the part that gets a little fuzzy. Once you've built it to that point, then you don't have to cold call anymore. See, there's light at the end of the rainbow. There's an end to this. It's not like I'm not out here saying, hey, call till the day you die. Right. I'm saying call, make 5 new friends a day. And I don't care if it's Zillow, Boomtown, open houses, make 5 new friends a day for 5 years, 250 working days in a year. That's you're going to have 6,000 new friends after the course of 5 years. You're done. If you want to close 50 to 100 deals a year, you don't have to prospect anymore. You work your database at that point. You're talking about 10. 10 equals 0 deals per year.
It's the old saying of, the successful business is the method is creating a customer that creates customers.
See, the problem is that people spend way too much time on quality. So they'll take the 10 clients and they'll go all in with these clients and they'll chalk it up to, I'm giving these people service and quality and attention. And they're justifying the fact that they're not continuing to build their database, and they're hiding behind that justification. Whereas they need to find the balance of both. Right.
Okay.
See, that's how you exponentially grow. A lot of agents either just focus on their database or they just grow their database and they have nothing on the back end to really stay in touch with the database. A lot of agents are one or the other.
Yeah.
But when you can balance both, whereas you're maintaining the relationship with everyone, whether they bought or sold or not, and you're working to continue to build that database simultaneously, and you find that great balance, then you exponentially grow every year. You make more and more money. And until you get to the place where you made the money you want to make, like in 2017, that was the year I made $1 million for the first year. That was the year I quit prospecting. Well, I made $1 million every year after, right? This isn't like a hypothesis. This isn't a theory, right? I've seen it happen over and over and over again with other agents. Once you build your database up to the level of income you want, you don't have to prospect anymore. You can live off that database.
You guys hear that? 2017, that was when $1 million was still worth 800,000. Now $1 million get you what get you to Nebraska? Maybe you go to Buc-ee's and gas up. But man, I can't believe it. Like I can't believe the simplicity. I'm still on the conversation about 2 cents a lead, so I'm trying to pick my brains up on that. What a lot of the things that I've been taught early on was, as you start to grow your business, your shift starts to focus towards that back end. You got 3 bubbles. You got the pre, the during, and the after, right? So pre is your prospecting, during is your systems when somebody's in contract, right? Execute that well. You can prospect all you want, but you can't close the contract within the limited time. You suck. And then the after, which are where, your potential raving fans live, right? And so they say that if you are going to prioritize your day, you prioritize it starting with the people who already like, love, and trust you. And not to say that it's not a balance amongst all 3, but if you were to prioritize, would you suggest, that same energy and effort that you put into that cold calling, is there a method in that same energy into the people that have closed?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. So in 2007, before I actually got back in full time, I was on the oil rig, right?
Yeah.
And Scott, the guy that taught me everything day one, remember?
Yep.
So in 2006, he sold 30 something properties. And this was a year when it was dead. Like people left the business, people were leaving the area. You know, this was a scary moment, right? 30 something properties. And I was like, what is going on? I was roofing houses. So I called him and I said, hey, what are you doing? I was like, what do you
is watching?
What do you got going on over there, man? Let me in on this. You know what I'm saying? He said, come over to the house. So we sit down, and remember in the beginning, he told me phone calls, here's how you look them up, letters, postcards, emails.
Sure.
So I go over to his house in 2007, and I'm like, tell me the secret. And he's like, phone numbers, letters, postcards, emails.
Right.
Nothing had changed.
Yeah.
Right? He was still doing the same stuff.
Consistent.
Right? And a lot of stuff hit me during that year. That hit me. It was the same stuff. A lot of my clients that bought during the big times were buying at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because I would see it in the tax records. I'm like, that was my client. And I thought if I would have maintained that relationship, I would have represented, you know, them selling these bad assets and buying new assets, right? And stuff like that. And it all hit me like, that's when it hit me, relationships over transactions, not the other way around.
Right.
And so, so in 2007, before I got back in full time, I started sending out emails and contacting people. Well, a lot of my clients, you know, now clients, they were like, I want a weekly list of foreclosures. And I kept hearing this weekly. Send me a weekly email list of foreclosures. So I started listening, started sending this weekly list of foreclosures, right? Well, then I was like, let me just put everybody. I'm sure everybody wants to know about all these foreclosures, right?
Yes, sir.
So I started doing this weekly list of foreclosure thing.
Smart.
Well, after about a couple years, as it turned into, I was just doing this like really incredible market report where I was customizing it every week and putting my 2 cents in there, my personality into it, and really making it my thing.
Sure.
So every Wednesday since 2007, I've done a weekly email every Wednesday since 2007.
Yeah.
And it's literally the reason why I could turn the prospecting key off in 2017. That weekly email continued to produce that $1 million a year. And so the customization of it, the originality of it, a lot of agents want to do just the cookie cutter. I'll have this company do a market report for me or Happy Grasshopper or whatever. And it's all generic stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you get the same email from 5 agents with the same subject saying the same stuff. Yeah. Right? And see, clients and prospects, the way they spell value is TIME.
That's right.
Right. And so they want to know when they open up my email, dude, I got 20,000 people on that list. Yeah. 7,500 open it up every week. Right.
That's good open rate.
Right. Yeah. So they're engaged. Right. They're invested. Right. So the email is something I spend a lot of time on for like everyone, so they never forget who I am. But also I try to call like my top 100 or 200 clients once a year. See, when you're new, you have a small database, call your database twice a year. Right. Until you can't, till it's too big. Right. Then call them once a year. Right. Till you can't, it's too big. Right. Then pick out your top 100 or 200 and call them once a year. Right. Right. And honestly, through the transaction, like you were saying, that's where the real rubber hits the road. That's right. When you give them the best service, right? Where they're just like, I'm never using anybody ever again because of the way he handled that deal. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like it went smooth as butter for me. I ain't going nowhere else. That's the best closing gift you can give somebody.
That's right. I'm telling you, man. Well, you make it sound pretty simple, but
because I'm not charging you anything.
I know.
I don't have anything to sell you. See, the coaches charging, they want to make it sound real complicated. And if you pay me, I'll uncomplicate this process for you.
I picked up on the $400 a month you said that you were spending, and I'd like to cover half of that. So we'll cut you a check for $200.
That is marketing. That is leads. That's everything, because we don't do any marketing. Because the marketing comes right back to a conversation, right? Hey, so if I'm spending all this money on marketing to create this list of people to call, I can only call so many.
Yeah. You guys see, did y'all see Saulo's name on that foreclosure list? Y'all, I mean, does it put their names on there?
Yeah.
Hey, Saulo, you like your stuff out on blast like that? Oh, no. Hey, dude,
you got a house for sale?
I'm kidding. You know, I went to a foreclosure auction on the 5th of July over at the county. It was the first one I'd been to, and it was a good time because I guess people were still hungover from the 4th of July. And
nobody made it to the auction.
oh man, there weren't. Yeah, it was just a few of us, man. The problem was what I didn't recognize is the stuff that actually gets auctioned off that day has already been filtered through the gamut. I mean, there are thousands of phone calls that realtors have made, door knockers.
All right, like, so they contact the property owner.
Oh, absolutely, man. The homework out there is ridiculous in real estate, but it's also worth it. And so whenever I'm seeing the tax assessment on a property at $300,000, but the auctioneer starts off at $112, the assuming, the implication there is that that's what they owe the bank, right? So they usually start off on what's owed, $112,000. Why is nobody bidding on this? Where's my money orders at? You got to show up with the cash already, but it's because somebody's knocked on that door, saw that Susie that lives there is crazy. She's never going to move out. She's ripped all the electrical out of the walls.
Call me about those.
You'll deal with that?
I'll buy them all day long.
For real?
Yeah, dude. I do. I flip about a house a month.
Yeah.
Right. And I run into that all the time. I just go through the legal process, dude. It took us 2 years to get a person out one time. The house is worth way more than what it was when we originally
Dom, we need to connect him with Logan.
If it takes a couple years to get the person out or whatever, and prices go down, say, I'll rent it.
Yeah.
Right? Rent's going to be higher regardless. Like you can't lose in those situations. If you're going to buy something for 112, right? Those are when you get the deals, because like if it's 300 on the tax, it's worth a little more than that with the way they're assessing right now.
Unless they've ripped out all the electrical and the piping and just gone crazy with it, right?
I mean, that's something to think about. But if you're getting it for 112,
you got 40 cents on the dollar.
You got to put 100 in it to redo the plumbing.
You're still good,
right? You're still going to make 100. Plus, it's
and then, but and I'm getting educated in that world, and I want to look at it because there is an opportunity there. And unfortunately, it's always it's not a popular conversation to take advantage of hardships that are going on, but foreclosure lists are growing. People are struggling, making some of their prices, some of their payments. And so that foreclosure list is there. And I don't understand kind of the back end quite yet, how to go and research, HOA dues. This guy may have not paid for the last 36 months. And now there's, Are
you dealing with a lawyer on the back end that's kind of helping you with the list and do a little research on title and stuff like that?
I go to Boomtown and print their lists. There's a company that sends the list report, and you can go and so what this guy Logan, who's kind of training me on it, he'll circle like 100. So we'll look for the properties that are 40 cents on the dollar. Do a drive by. They'll have a little group meeting like a few days before, saying, "Hey, we're going to go into the auction. Here's how we're going to go in." Some go as far as door knocking. Logan doesn't do much door knocking, but they'll then go research title. They'll go do all that fun stuff. So they go in there saying, "Hey, if these 10 properties go at this price, we're coming in." I go in just kind of for the excitement. I mean, it was my first one I went to, so I'm not really in that game yet.
We've been doing it for years.
Yeah,
years. Yeah. We've been picking up foreclosures, every month for years.
Because you're already calling a bunch of people. You might as well,
I don't call them. I don't do that. I don't go that route. I just show up at the courthouse and buy them.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Is there an opportunity to double dip on these cold calls? I mean, if I'm printing out 100 people and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to get through these 100 people in the next 2 days, ask them how they feel about real estate, I might as well double down, right? Now, hey, are you foreclosing by any chance? Or
call the pre-foreclosures?
Yeah.
Probably should.
Yeah?
Yeah, since I'm buying them anyway. Probably should, but,
yeah,
too busy. I mean, I could have my guys do it at the office, and it might be something I do, but I mean, whatever. We stay busy enough, right?
Yeah.
So we pay cash for all our flips because we don't want to get caught upside down on anything with a loan. So anything I buy long term, I'll get a loan on and I'll just cash flow it. But anything I'm going to flip, I'm going to pay cash. So there's 2 of us, 3 of us, 2 other guys, and no, we always have more than we really want. Like, if we have like 5 houses, because, the thing is if you get caught and the market does something weird and you have 18 houses, then that's a weird moment. But if you have like 3 or 4, then, you're good. So,
well, you gave a lot of nuggets. The one thing I didn't hear you say today was, what a real estate agent really needs is a really good lender. So we wanted to start you off on the right path while you're here in San Antonio. Got you on a line mortgage hat.
Am I getting drafted here?
No,
like this is like the NBA draft. Like,
And first pick of a line mortgage, so
I'm going with.
Hey, dude, we appreciate the fact that you're even entertaining doing your presentation here at Line Mortgage. It's here at 5590 Summit Parkway tomorrow morning. In the description, we're going to put a link. Is there still room? Can people still come?
100%.
Okay, we still got.
I mean, if there's people standing in the back, that's fine by me.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And for my fire department friends out there,
stairs, you can fill those things up.
There you go. Don't worry about that fire code, that occupancy. We'll deal with that. So it's there on the screen. Learn how to master your real estate business. Ricky Carruth, 0 to Diamond. Are you going to any other cities after San Antonio, or are you heading back home?
No, we're going back home after this, but we got Phoenix coming up.
Okay.
We're going to do a big one there. Then we've got Orlando. We're going to do a big one there. And then we'll do one in my hometown there in Gulf Shores to end the year out in December. But next year, we're doing 4 big ones. We're going to do LA, Manhattan, Miami, and Hawaii. And so we've really been getting about 500 or so agents at each event. We just did LA. And so we're taking everything we learned this year and going to apply it to next year. And we're shooting for 1,000 per. We just want to do 4 really big ones.
Yeah.
And
when Ricky gets out to LA, y'all make sure y'all go check that out. And real estate agents, make sure that you guys are selling property in LA. You sell, you keep them in LA. Don't you dare let them sell their house and move to Texas. Are we still in agreement? Are we still saying don't California or Texas? Is that still a thing or no?
I think it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late. All right, so
you can convert them.
We can convert them. Here. Man, you're a converting machine, man. I'm busy. You're busy called pre-foreclosure. I ain't got time to convert LA. I can convert San Diegans. They're a little easier, but
well, that's California.
It's going to be a good thing, man. I'm excited for my agents to come tomorrow. People that I work will be here. I'll be here.
Dude, we have a really good lineup.
Okay.
We got a girl talking about social media. We have a guy on mindset. We've got several dynamic speakers. So we don't have our full lineup that we normally have.
Yeah.
But we really have some really good, talented people coming out to speak tomorrow. So, man, I'm psyched.
We're excited for you. Give us a close us out, Ricky. Tell us what you want us to know about 0 to Diamond, and then I'll say a couple things and we'll get on with it.
I mean, dude, listen, at the end of the day, a lot of people are like, oh, you're doing all this stuff for free. What can we do for you?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, bro, I just want somebody to take what I'm doing and go out there and crush it, right? And then just send me a message and say, hey, I'm killing it with what you did, which I get hundreds of those a week.
I see that.
Say that. What was really cool is when we were in LA a month or so ago, I took a risk and I was like, okay, because the mission is to reduce the failure rate. So I was like, okay, if you think that you might not be in the business right now, if you wouldn't have ran into 0 to Diamond at some point, right, stand up. And I was thinking 1 or 2 people maybe. There was like 20 plus people that stood up that basically was admitting if it wasn't for 0 to Diamond, I wouldn't even be in real estate anymore. Right. So right there, we're reducing the failure rate.
It's good.
So that's all, man.
It's good.
Just to get out there and make a difference in the world.
Well, what a blessing, Ricky. Thanks for joining us this morning. And, we're excited to see your content tomorrow. If you guys haven't already subscribed to his YouTube channel, I'm telling you, check it out. You're going to fall down the rabbit hole. You're straight watching a dude, calling people, picking up. It's very encouraging, inspiring. I see all the people in the comment section, realtors, you will be blessed. It's not very often that we've seen him in San Antonio. So tomorrow morning, if you can clear your calendar, come check it out. I know you'll be blessed by it. Just a reminder, get your dogs neutered if they haven't already. This has been the Chris Cano Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great Thursday.